first piece of real gear that I ever owned was a Roland JX 3P synthesizer.
Huh.
There you go.
Good for you. My father was a garbage man, so he would bring things home that the garbage men found in the garbage that nobody wanted. It was kind of like, I don't know, that's the thing they did. And one day he brings home this counterfeit Hofner, Paul McCartney style violin-y bass, and that was my first instrument. And I played it forever until it fell apart because it was from the garbage. But that's how I got into bass or playing at all. And I gave it to this nerd I knew who fixed up the instruments, and he made it look really fucking good, and it played really well afterwards, and I missed that thing. But I don't know, that's how I got into it. That was my first piece of equipment.
First thing I ever had was a 4-track, so I could like make music with whatever I had on hand, which was not a lot of banging on stuff. I was into industrial music, so 4-track was good.
My father was kind of a failure of a musician, but there was always instruments around the house, so I grew up with like a piano and guitar, and I hope that I'm making him proud.
I got my first guitar when I was like 13. It was remember Cort, C-O-R-T? It was a Cort guitar. It was like a white Strat, and it had the Eddie Van Halen red kind of stripes painted on in lipstick. And that was my first guitar. And I remember bringing it to school and like showing it off to everyone. That was my first piece of gear.
My aunt bought me a Kramer Focus 2000 back in like 87, and it was pink and purple, and I thought it was the shit. Like you'd turn it and it'd change colors, and I thought I was like, and I love Metallica and Megadeth, but I don't know why I was playing a pink guitar. I have no idea. But it was so awesome, and that was my first one.
I believe it was called a Series 10 guitar that I bought from a local guitar store called Pied Piper in Charleston, West Virginia. The action, the strings were about that high off of the fret. I was like, there's no way I'll be able to learn how to play this. Yeah, I had to work for it. I had to work for it really hard. But my second piece of gear was my most favorite. It was a bass that I made out of cardboard because I couldn't find the bass. So my mom got a refrigerator, and we cut a bass out of that, and I put shoestrings on it, and that's how I learned how to play Till Live Is To Die. Yeah, and I tried out for my first band, and I beat the other bass player because I already knew how, because I've been practicing on the cardboard bass.
Pawn shop bought black Honer bass, and it sucked ass. But I didn't know that then. It was the coolest shit ever. And what was even more cool was that it was black like Cliff Burton's. So really, it could have just been cardboard, whatever. And if it looked like Cliff Burton's, I would have played and thought I was the shit. So yeah, black 4-string Honer bass.
I mowed lawns all summer when I was 10 years old, and I bought a $50 Honer St. Lead Strat copy, black and white. And it was definitely a pile of shit, but it taught me how to play it, you know what I mean? Like, it made me, like you said, work for it, so, yeah. And then I had a crate amp that I also bought with that summer's money, a little 15-watt piece of shit crate amp, you know.
Guess we're not getting that crate endorsement, are we?
I got a snare drum for Christmas when I was 8 years old, and I just pounded the living shit out of it. And, it was a knockoff, no name, some chrome thing with, like rust on it. My parents got it for like $25.
I got a DD3 and a DD5 delay pedal, Boss delay pedals, and found a way to be able to run that into the PA, and it kind of changed the way I was able to layer my vocals.
Blues band harmonica, Honer. My dad gave it to me.
I was 9 years old, and the story could get long, but my mom worked with a lady who bought this. It was like a 12-piece, half Ludwig, half Slenderland, spray-painted black, Neil Peart, almost to the piece, compiled drum set. And that was the first thing that she got. She bought it from this lady she worked with for $150. And it was literally 3 toms, 2 floors, 2 kick drums, and like even the cymbal set up, it had to be a Rush guy who was playing, because he had nailed the one in the middle and the one on the side and the weird hi-hat. And it was a really nice Slenderland and Ludwig kit, but they had spray painted them all black, and I played that for 4 or 5 years until I had to get something that was better. But that was my first gear.